A mother and her little boy, as we said earlier, sat at the door of their cottage, gazing at the great stone face and talking about. So they were gazing and talking continuously about it. The child's name was Ernest. Mother, said he, while the great stone smiled on him. He felt that the great stone was smiling at him. I wish that it could speak, for it looks so very kindly that its voice must indeed be pleasant. So the small boy had very curiosity. He said, the faces are continuously smiling at me, and I wish he could speak to me, and I wish and I hope that voice might be very pleasant. If an old prophecy should come to pass, answered his mother, we may see a man sometime with exactly such a face as that. The mother said, okay, you can see that man, but prophecy should come true, because it was told that a man should appear of exactly of that face. What prophecy do you mean, dear mother? Ernest said, what prophecy is there? And inquired Ernest, please tell me about it. So his mother told him a story that her own mother had told her. So here her mother also had heard the story of a prophecy. She said to Ernest, okay, I'll tell you the same story. When she herself was younger than little Ernest, that at some future day a child should be born near here, who was destined to become the greatest and the noblest person of his time, and whose face's manhood should bear an exact resemblance to the great stone face. Many still had faith in this prophecy, but others took it to be nothing but idle talk. At all events, the great man of the prophecy had not yet appeared. So the mother said to Ernest that the prophecy is told that one day a man will be born in this place, and he will be resemble exactly like a great stone face, and he will be noble person with great personality. Oh mother, cried Ernest, clapping his hands above his head, I do hope that I shall live to see him. So he said, I am a small boy, but I wish I should live to see that man whose face will resemble exactly like a stone face. His mother was an affectionate, it means loving mother, and thoughtful woman. It was proper, she thought, not to discourage the fanciful hopes of her little boy. So she said to him, perhaps you may, and Ernest never forget the story that his mother told him. It was always in his mind whenever he looked up at the great stone face. So the story which mother has told him, it was like fresh in his mind. Always whenever he looked at the mountain, he remembered the story. He spent his childhood in the log cottage where he was born. Log cottage means the cottage made with wood. Was dutiful to his mother and helpful to her in many things, assisting her much with his little hands and more with his loving heart. He was so thoughtful child, so always loved his mother, and helped her in all her work. In this manner, from a happy yet often pensive child, he grew up to be a mild and quiet youth. Ernest had no teacher, but the great stone face became one to him. When the work of the day was over, he would gaze at it for hours until he began to imagine that those vast features recognized him and gave him a smile of kindness and encouragement. So this boy, he has become a youth now, and still his daily work was, after finishing his work, he used to gaze at the great stone face for hours and hours, and he had no teacher, but he made great stone face as his teacher.